Sup, y'all? So, I've been playing Smash Legends for about around its release date till now, and lately I've been seeing people expressing their concerns over the game's future and whatnot. And I like to have a little discussion, just talking about how I'm viewing things right now. But before we start, I just want to clarify a few things. So, one, this is not a video that you have to look at. You can just set this aside while you're driving, while you're playing the game. Just hear me out. Just listen to what I have to say here, and hopefully, I'll say some things that would interest you. Two, the Smash Legends community is still kind of new or growing. Like it has like one or two YouTubers here and there, but usually when it comes to times like these, the masses likes to hear a voice of reason. And since they're not that many, I like to give a perspective on my end. And so not only for myself, but if you guys also can record yourself or create a video for this game and whatnot and just give your view and all that, that'd be good. But I just like to give my view of things, so I said, why not? And then lastly, this is more of a timestamp. Like, I know I'm not going to talk as if I have a following or whatnot. This is just something for me to just look back on when the game changes more and more in the future and whatnot. I just look at it and be like, oh yeah, then also, I don't have a script for this. I am definitely going off the head, freestyling. I do have little key points here and there to keep me in check in case I get into the spur of the moment. So, depending on where I go, this might be a little rant or a little discussion. But overall, that's just a little clarification disclaimers. Right, let's get back into it. So, as I mentioned, it's been 2 months, I believe, this game has been out, and I've been seeing an increase in comments regarding people saying, "Oh, this game is boring. This game is getting repetitive. There ain't nothing to do. I understand the game," and I was like, "Huh." It made me question the Smash Legends community ideology when it comes to coming into games like these, especially when it's brand new. It doesn't have anything going for it yet. But I just say I like to give my point of view to it, right? And so, first things first, when it comes down to it, I always like to ask, the important rule is the game enjoyable? And 99% of the people who play this game will tell you, yeah, this game is sick. Like the game is really fun. The only people who probably wouldn't like it off rip is if you don't like the PvP focus aspect, because that's what it is. It's a PvP focused fighting game, almost like top down arena. So it's telling you what it is in front. So that 1% probably might not like it, but overall, everybody enjoys the game, right? The balance of it. The balance is good. I won't talk as if it's great and all that. Like I know how it feels like to fight against a group of hooks on the other side of the team. If you know, you know. But as far as like you have a fighting chance. So I feel like as far as for me, the balance feels alright-ish. The connection. This is something I've been seeing people saying they've been having a hard time connecting through like the loading screen or the servers and whatnot. And as far as on my end, everything's been fine for me. Usually when I have hiccups, I can count probably on my one hand of the times where I was like, hey, something's going on with this game, but it rarely happens. And over time, if you're at home on your Wi-Fi, you got like five other systems connected to the Wi-Fi, including yours, then yeah, you might not be able to connect good or come with problems. Or if you're not in a well-established infrastructure, like the just in general, then yeah, you might have problems here and there. But overall, my connection has been fine wise. Like, and then it's also dope that the game allows you to reconnect after you DC, so you can get back into the fight. So all of this adds into the game. If it works, and it makes it more enjoyable. The visuals of it, the visual is also something that I really, really like about it. And I just noticed last week that the game is based off of fairy tales. Like when you read the loading screens or whatnot, and they give you like a brief character summary of their backstories, I caught a few things where I'm like, oh, this game is actually based off of yada yada. And so it's like a little spin off of little fairy tales, stories or whatnot, and it's pretty cool looking. And I definitely remember when I was looking up this game, I was seeing like different 3D models of it, and I'm like, this ain't the game I'm looking for compared to this 2D looking type of thing. But now it just turns out that they just updated their graphics for it, and not for all gamers, but if a game looks visually good, that does add into the enjoyable factor. And I think it looks good, so I'm definitely gonna give the devs their flowers for that. Mm. And really, I just like the game. It reminds me a little of Rumble Fighter. For those who know, Rumble Fighter was a fighting game just like this. It used to be an old OG Planet game back in like 2008 and 9 when I used to play. Same idea. You're fighting, you got different fighting styles, power ups and whatnot. So maybe the nostalgia is hitting me a little. But overall, I feel like yeah, the game is enjoyable in all that aspects. And on top of all of this, this is not a game you need to be playing all day. And this is a key point that I kind of want to emphasize more on. I feel like us as gamers, especially nowadays, we as consumers have been so entitled to almost gluttony to the aspect, just want so much more to where the devs, no devs can provide for that. What I mean by that is, for example, I try not to bring this up, but it's a perfect example I can think of. Genshin Impact. When Genshin Impact started, I started playing the game kind of around the first week when it's launched. And so did everybody else. Usually mobile games, they stay on the phone as mobile games, but Genshin Impact's kind of like the big first console game that came out. And I remember before a month even came to the game's age, probably the third week, people was talking about, oh, the game is boring, there's nothing to do, it's repetitive, yada 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 yada. And it's like, you didn't give the game chance to breathe on its own yet. And so then once after a month hits, the devs started rolling out updates and talking about their roadmaps and yada yada for what they was going to do in the game. So that's what I kind of mean as we gamers, as consumers. Are you? Why do we feel so entitled to doing everything? And kind of what I mean by that is the game has. Well, that's a different topic I'm gonna get into, but this is not a game that you need to be playing all day, basically. I've seen some people saying that they was playing this game for like 12 hours a day. And I'm like, what? You've been playing it for that? I'm fortunate if I get an hour out of this game. Like, yeah, the game is fun when it gets into it, but I don't feel like this is a game where it needs to be my main game. This is a nice little second or third game that I have just whenever I'm ready, especially as a phone. But I do like to emphasize, how do you guys feel as far as the consumption of us as gamers when it comes to games like this? Because especially nowadays, gaming has not been at its best or core, right? And I feel like when a well-made game comes out, it's kind of like a shock, like, oh, this game is kind of tight. And so that makes you want to play it even more and more until you burn yourself out. And I'm kind of curious. This is just the part where, I tell you guys to comment down below. But what are y'all take on? Do you feel like us as gamers, as consumers, that we're just like overly entitled to such things, or just asking too much from developers? Have you burnt yourself out from this game? But yeah, that's one thing I look at it. The game is not something I need to be playing all day. And so I would like to emphasize for people, if you have a different game to play, go for it. Why not? All right. Just so I won't be talking, just to remind you guys, so I won't be talking so much and continuously, I do got some water. So I need to make sure I take my drink. Drink some water, people. All right. So back into it. So at the core of the game, it's about fighting people, win or lose, preferably winning, and you get rewards from it. Kind of like the carrot chase of it. What is the carrot chase of the game? And so, to me, the carrot chase of the game is actually not that big of a deal. So, what I mean by that is you press start. Once you get into the main menu of the UI of the game, you press start, you get into your matches or whatever. And what they have here is like rewards. They reward you with medals and keys to unlock loot boxes and increase your rank. So that's kind of like the main carrot chase of the game. And they kind of have like a cap to how much rewards you can get, but you can continue playing the game. See, not a lot of mobile games, as far as what I remember, like I know Candy Crush restrict you. There's a Harry Potter game that restrict you. I heard about. Not a lot of mobile games allow you to continue playing. So the game has that going for it to where it's not as restrictive to some mobile games. So I think that's pretty cool. Then also the reward aspect, like there's So you want to unlock characters. So there's characters to unlock, and some of them you can only acquire by loot boxes. I know from just the main starting cast, the game is very generous in giving you a cast of characters to play just off rip. If you play it some more, then of course you got other characters you're interested in, but I found my favorite in just playing Peter or Sydney, especially Cindy, for the time being. Then over time, as I collect more keys to unlock the loot boxes, I eventually, like 2 weeks ago, I just got Cat Master, and then 2 days ago, when I was at work, I unlocked Ravi from like a 10-minute session, just a quick match. I got a loot box, I unlocked it, and then boom, Ravi comes out. He's somebody I've been having my eyes on, so it feels generous enough. I know some people they've been mentioning how that they still haven't gotten any characters, and yeah, it might kind of sucks. At least the devs they enlisted or put on the rates of much loot box you can get or the characters you can unlock. But either way, like I said, the character is not that bad. Now we're talking about the loot box itself. Mm-mm-mm. Just slowly over time, companies have slowly integrated just the loot box system into all games of life to make more money. And some people they do it right, some people they do it good. So how is this game? Because I know this can be like a RNG. You know, at the end of the day, it's RNG as far as the excitement of it. And honestly, it's not even bad itself. Like the loot box, yeah, you get your characters from it, but other than that, there's nothing really where it's like, man, only way I can get this is if I get it from a loot box, and the loot box is bullshit. It's like, nah, not really. It's actually pretty good as far as like I don't feel like I need it. Like the characters, like I said, that I play already is from the main starting cast that the game gives you. So if they give me more characters to play and whatnot, like I'm cool with that. Why not? And so I like to give the devs their flowers that the loot box doesn't feel um, very forceful. Like the only way I can play is if I get something from there. They are a little sketchy when it comes to the battle pass. I'm not real diverse in it. I haven't spent no money in this game yet. The battle pass with some characters only being in that, keep your eye on that. We got to see about that. But overall, I'm not mad at that for that. My next key point I like to mention is updates and recent news. Hold the devs accountable. Hold the devs accountable. Hold the devs accountable. Man, listen, guys. When I say hold the devs accountable, if you don't call the devs out when they do something wrong as a community, if you don't let them know, like, hey, this is what we want, and they do something way off balance and whatnot, next thing you know, you want to get a game that's going downhill that you used to enjoy playing a lot of times, and next thing you know, you're not playing it no more because the game sucked. DCUO. I think I choked on water. But yeah, hold the devs accountable. So what I like to give the devs their flowers is they provided roadmaps. They've been updating the game a lot recently. Like we just got an update for the next new character called Flare, I think, and 1.6 coming through. So the devs has been pretty good on updating the game. They also been on top of some of the balance as far as the updates too with some of the characters. Like they just nerfed Red like what 100 times already, and it's just nice to see that hey, they're listening to some of the concerns. They also provided a roadmap, so also it's good that they're being transparent about what the future is. Like these guys just recently announced I can't think of it. I can't think of it. But yeah, it's just nice to see that transparency goes a long way. They can't tell us everything, but at least let us know, like, hey, this is what we're doing in the future, and if you want to stick with us, you can expect this and that. So that's real nice about that. Also, another thing that I really admire that they did is they're working with the community. I remember what I wanted to say now. So, 5 Minute Lab, they recently also just announced that they got like some Smash Legends partners. I guess they assigned some people to like play the game and they have like a special tag that shows that they're like a partner, something like that. I don't know the full details or the full name of it, but I do remember seeing a Twitter post or on the website that they announced that they're working with some people, and that's good, especially when it comes to you as a community. You want the community and the devs to work together. It is very, very important that we be as coherent with each other as possible, especially on the community. I know some people treat the devs like they're not humans, but we guys can on our side just be very respectful and express our concerns, very bright and organized, and it'd be dope with the devs to continue working with us some more like that. And so I really, really like that. I really think that's a very good sign that they have a plan that they want to take this game even further and they're willing to work with the community. And so that kind of adds into my enjoyment of me playing the game because I see this stuff. And especially if you've been playing video games for a long time, even in AAA games, you do not get this type of treatment a lot. Matter of fact, it feels like it's going away even further. So it's always nice to, you don't want to reward them too high, but you just want to thank them. Like, hey, thank you for that, for just doing the right thing for us. And we make sure that us as a community, we treat them back with the same respect as well. And lastly, the last thing that I would like to discuss is competition. When I say competition, I don't mean competition as in us in the community. We're going to have our tournaments regardless. What I mean when I say competition is from other companies. I've seen in comments people bring up a game called Brawl Stars. I guess it's like another fighting game, arena, top down, kind of like this game. So people, they'd be like, this game is cool and I like Brawl Stars or etc. What I mean by competition, guys, is competition is good to keep the company accountable for themselves. For example, it's kind of like Sony and Microsoft. When Microsoft dropped the ball when the PS4 and the Xbox One was coming out, and the Microsoft dropped the ball with their press conference, everybody and their mamas flocked to Sony. And now you kind of have a power struggle where Microsoft is trying to get them back. So same as almost like a monopoly. If a company messes up, then people go to the other one. If not, vice versa. It's just a way just to keep the company in check. Like, hey, if we don't stay intact with what we're doing, we're going to lose our resources, our community, our content creators. Like, things are at stake. It's kind of like another example. The sports video games like FIFA, 2K, Madden. The company has been infested this game with microtransactions doing BS stuff. And the community over there, that kind of just, they accepted it because that's the only sports game they can play as far as stimulations of it. And so when you don't have competition, you have games like EA, what they do to their sports games, just constant barrages of microtransactions, unfair deals of policies and whatnot. And it's up to you as a player whether you're going to accept it as it is or you're going to move on. So that's what I mean when I say competition is good for Smash Legends to be competing against Brawl Stars. And then just any other game that comes up, who knows? Somebody might be an aspiring dev making something like this. So I just say that's pretty good. But overall, guys, that's kind of it with everything I wanted to say. Like I said, this game does have a bright future, and I'm definitely am going to be continuing playing this game further in the future. And yeah, but that's everything I can mention. Before I wrap it up here, I do want to mention one more thing though. I don't do this a lot for all my videos and stuff. Like I've done YouTube. I know how things works. So I am gonna insert the typical like, comment, and subscribe to every YouTuber and their mama phrase that they use. But guys, it really is important. If you really do enjoy content creation from your favorite YouTuber or whatever, then definitely leave a like. It inspires them to let them know, like, hey, people like this type of stuff and I can keep using it. And it's also good for you too. You will get more of that type of stuff. So this is just me telling you guys, like, if you enjoy discussion, if anything caught your eye or interest or ears or whatnot, please just leave a like on the video, or just comment like, hey, something simple as, hey, nice video. That really shows as far as the engagement that's going on, and then YouTube algorithm will see that and be like, oh, somebody's liking this, so we got to spread it even further and then go out to other people. Like I said, that's up to you guys, but it's just something to keep you aware of, and let me know if you're interested. But better yet, I'm tired of talking to you guys. So besides that, hope you enjoyed the topics of the session, and I'll talk to y'all guys later. Take care of yourselves, y'all here. Peace.